What's up YouTube, Dale here from Zephyr, and today I am bringing you an update for possibly the biggest deck change in the Doom of Dimensions, and that is going to be DDDs. That's right, this deck has got some absolutely amazing support in Doom of Dimensions, and it really does take the deck up. It brings it more into the light as well. Now before I dive into this profile, massive shout out to two people very specifically. Number one of them being Joe, who was the originator of DDDs for the channel and very inspirational when putting this list together. The second one is going to be Different Dimension Dreamer. Now, this is a Yugioh online who pretty much focuses on DDDs. Their videos have been absolutely invaluable. You'll see the influence throughout this video as well, and I'm going to put a link in the description down below so you can go and check out their videos, as I feel that if you're going to be looking to play DDDs, that's going to be the best place to go. Their videos involve ways to play around the Beerus, way to play around Ash Blossoms, Drolls, you name it. It is so full of DDD information that if you want to be focusing on this deck as a primary for going forward in the format, there is no better place to go. So with all of that out of the way, please smash that like button, hit that notification bell, and subscribe. If you want to see me do more videos on this one, whether it be a dedicated combo guide or more likely a test hand video, then make sure you get the video above 50 likes in the first 24 hours and I'll bring that for you. So starting off with 3 of the brand new Triple D Zero Doom Queen Machinex. What an amazing addition for the deck. So its Pendulum effect is during your main phase, if it was activated this turn, you get to place a Dark Contract continuous spell or trap from the deck face up to your field. Only does each effect once per turn. The benefit of something like that is it will get you access mainly to your brand new Dark Contract with the Zero King, but it can also get you access to your Dark Contract with the Gate. There are loads of one-card combos in this video, and I'm going to be showing you the Kepler one-card combo at the end of the video, but that starter can be adapted to involve Queen Machinex as your starter or Gates of the Dark Contract, so you've got loads of options. The monster effect is if a face-up Triple D or a Dark Contract you control is destroyed, except itself, while this card is face up in the extra deck, except during the damage step, even during this damage step, you get to special summon this card and then destroy one card on the field. So it means if your opponent destroys one of your monsters, you go, okay, cool, summon out Doom Queen and then pop a card. You can only use the effect once per turn, and then on top of that is if this card in the monster zone is destroyed, you get to place it into your Pendulum zone. You can only use the effect once per turn. Then the original starter of the deck is Double Savant Kepler. So the Pendulum effect is you can't be negated, and you can only Pendulum summon monsters except DDs. Then on top of that as well is during the standby phase, you reduce this card's Pendulum scale by 2, and then destroy all monsters you control with a level greater than or equal to this card's Pendulum scale. So as you can see, you've got a scale 0 and a scale 10, so you're going to have the ability to pretty much pen your entire hand of monsters within reason that are DDs, which the majority of them will be, because the only ones that are not DDs will be your hand traps. Its more prominent effect is on normal or special. You get to add a Dark Contract card from the deck to the hand. It does have another effect on summon that allows you to target a DD card you control and return it to the hand, but very rare you'll be doing that because you're pretty much just going to be searching out your Dark Contracts. Then the ideal extender for the deck, or the older extender for the deck, is triple DD Griffins. So the Pendulum effect, you get to target a fiend you control and it gains 500 attack until the end of this turn. For each Dark Contract spell or trap with different names you're currently on the field or in the graveyard, and then you destroy this card. So that could actually be quite important to deal with a Liger Dancer to make one of your stronger monsters even stronger. Its more commonly used effect is if you control a DD monster, you get to special summon this card from the hand in defense position. If it is Pendulum summoned, you get to discard a DD or a Dark Contract to draw a card, and if it is special from the grave, you get to add a DD card from the deck to the hand except itself. Now the one really important thing to know about DDs in general is if a card says double D, it involves a Triple D, because a Triple D has double D in its name. If the card specifically says a Triple D, you can't involve a double D because it doesn't involve the Triple D in its name. This will become more evident when we talk about specifically your Oblivion King Ragnarok, as this kind of covers all the bases. I'll explain it when we get there, but that's just a little tip that you need to know. The other brand new extender that we play is 2DD Scale Surveyor. Now you can play this at 3 if you want to. Its Pendulum effect is during the standby, you get to target up to 2 cards in the Pendulum zones. Their Pendulum scales become 0 until the end of this turn. You can only use this effect once per turn. Its more commonly used effect is if you control a DD Pendulum monster, you get to special summon this card from the hand. If it is normal or special, you can make this card's level become 4. And if this card is sent to the graveyard or added to the extra deck face up, you get to target a double D Pendulum monster you control and return it to the hand. The other card that also came out in Battles of Legend, which is a little bit spenny right now, but you can play it at 1 or 3, so that's quite good that you can play at 1 rather than at 3, is your DD Count Surveyor. So its Pendulum effect is once per turn. If you Pendulum summon a Triple D monster or monsters, you get to target 3 monsters your opponent controls with the same type or attribute as each other. Tribute 2 of those, of the 3 monsters, and if you do, the third gains the attack and defense equal to the total attack and defense of the other attributed monsters had on the field. Its more commonly used effect is you can discard one other DD monster to special this card from the hand, which is where you're going to get the benefit if you're playing 3 of it, because then that becomes more of a consistent extender. The other effect is if it is normal or special, you get to add a DD monster with 0 attack or defense from the deck to the hand. So the benefit of something like that is there are ways to special summon it from the deck, and the cards that it can get you direct access to can be your extender in your Scale Surveyor, it can be a starter in either Copernicus or your Savant Kepler, and it can also be a starter / extender in the form of the Doom Queen Machinex. The other one-offs that we play is the 1 DD Orthros. You'll see this in the combo, how this is actually utilised as a very important level 4 tuner, but it also does have a very useful scale effect that lets you target a spell trap on the field and then one other DD or Dark Contract and destroy them. So it lets you deal with your opponent's floodgate should they have any, but it also allows you to deal with any of your opponent's spells and traps that might cause you an issue, like Dracatail Flame or even Dracatail Tail. Then we do have the 1 Copernicus, which is a little bit wild considering back in the day you used to play Copernicus as free as like an ideal starter. Now it's not that important because as you'll see when we go through this, we're no longer playing Necro Slime, Swell Slime, we're no longer playing Lamia, we're no longer relying on Necro Slime as heavily, like you just keep it as a one-off. And they used to be core cards for the entire deck, but the new DD cards being Pendulums and everything else in between means you don't need to rely on them cards anymore. So Copernicus on normal or special, you send a DD or Dark Contract from the deck to the grave, and its pendulum effect is you can't pendulum summon except DDs, but this effect cannot be negated, and once while it is in your pendulum zone, you get to negate the activated spell effect that would inflict damage to you and then destroy this card. The last pendulum monster we're playing is the 1 Triple D Oblivion King Ragnarok. So its pendulum scale is as follows. If you special summon a DD monster or monsters, which includes Triple D, because Triple D involves Double D, except during damage deck, you get to target a DD in your graveyard. Again, can also target a Triple D. Any battle damage your opponent becomes is half for the rest of the turn, and then special summon that monster. And if you do, you take 1,000 damage. You can only use the effect of Triple D once per turn. If this card is normal or special, you can target a Triple D monster in the graveyard, so you have to specifically target a Triple D, not a Double D. In your graveyard and special summon it, you can only use the effect once per turn. You get to tribute one other Double D monster and then target a monster your opponent controls and banish it. So you can tribute off a Double D or a Triple D to use that effect, and this is one of those prime examples of knowing like the Double Ds and Triple Ds and everything else in between. Then the final 3 monsters that we are playing that are the DDs is the classic Necro Slime. You can banish it from the graveyard to fusion a Triple D fusion monster from your extra deck by banishing the materials. Then we have 2 of the brand new cards. One of them being the Double D Lance Soldier, and it is a level 2 tuner that can manipulate its level by targeting a DD monster you control and increase its level up to the number of Dark Contract cards on the field and or graveyard. If this is in the graveyard, you get to target a Dark Contract card you control, destroy it, and if you do, special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. Now remember, if you use it as overlay material, it doesn't get banished when it leaves the field, it just goes to the graveyard, which is the loophole of Yu-Gi-Oh! And then the final brand new card is 1 Double D Defense Soldier. So you get to activate one of the effects. You can target a DD in your pendulum zone and special summon it. Going to be very important in the combo later on. Second effect is you can banish 1 DD monster in your graveyard, and if your Triple D monster attacks this turn, opponent cannot activate card effects until the end of the damage step. Its other effect that you're going to be using as well is you get to banish this card from the grave to add a Double D Pendulum monster from the face-up extra deck or grave back to the hand, so it lets you reset your scales. The final Dark Contract card, or the DDD cards we're going to be playing, is 3 Dark Contract with the Gate. Just add a DD monster from the deck to the hand, only use each effect once per turn, and then during the standby phase you take 1,000. The other brand new card we are playing is the 1 Dark Contract with Zero King, and is always treated as a DD card. You can target 1 DD card you control, except itself, destroy it, and if you do, special summon a DD monster from the deck. You can't special summon for the rest of the turn except DDs. You can only use each effect once per turn, and then you take 1,000 during the standby phase. The final DD card we play, or Dark Contract card, is the Dark Contract with the Witch. Now the reason a lot of players are going back to this is it's a trap card that could be activated in response to a Dark Ruler No More, and then you can chain your Siegfried to negate the Dark Ruler No More, leaving your ability at that particular point of having, I believe it is 6 interruptions off the top of my head, it might even be 7 to be exact, because you would still have 4 absorbs with your Machinex, plus you'll have the negate off the back of the Ragnarok, and then 2 negates off the back of your Triple D Caesar. So with a format where Dark Ruler is running around, this is actually a really important card to have. If that wasn't enough, you get to send a DD or a Dark Contract card from the hand to the grave, target a card on the field and destroy it, and then all Fiend monsters you control gain 1,000 attack during your opponent's turn only, so it makes them a lot harder to just attack over. The final honorary DD card before we get to non-engine is the one Nightmare Throne. This allows you to add a Fiend with 0 attack and 0 defense from the deck to the hand, so it's basically just having a 4th copy of Kepler. You don't have to play it, you can take this out completely. This can become the DDD field spell. It could become triple D Headhunt if you wanted to. You've got loads of different options you can play around with, so that is a bit of an easy flex spot depending on how experimental you want to be. For the non-engine, pretty standard on this one. 3 Ash Blossom, so you will summon from the extra deck quite a lot, so you need to have an answer to your opponent's Fuelos, but then you also need to be able to play your own Fuelos, backed up with 2 Perulia. Now, the Perulias and the Fueloses, like Fuelos is very hard to actually replace. The closest you can get would be if you play a Phantasme, just because it will give you nice target protection, but it is only really going to be effective against Link heavier decks. The other options you can trade out for your Perulias is you can very easily play like Ghost Bells, Ghost Mourners, Effect Veilers, Nibiru's if you wanted to as well. And the reason I'm not doing that is because I am playing one of my favourite cards of the game right now, and that is Dominus Impulse. But I fully understand that this isn't the easiest card for everyone to get a hold of. So if you don't have access to this, again, you take these out. These are your Ghost Bells, your Nibiru's, your Veilers, everything else in between. And then the final hand trap S card I'm playing is 3 Infinite Impermanence. You have a lot of space for non-engine. Like, I was wrong when I initially first looked at DDDs, because back in the day, DDDs couldn't play a lot on non-engine because you were on like 3 Swell Slime, 1 Lamiar, 2 Necro Slime, everything else in between. Whereas now, with the new cards, you just open up so much space because the new cards provide you with such a good layer of consistency that it allows you to play this amount of non-engine, which is crazy. The final 3 cards I'm playing are 3 power spells in the form of Crossout, Call By, and Talent. You just want to make sure you punish your opponent if they do interact with you. And because you have so many 1-card combos, 1-card starters, extenders, and everything else in between, you can actually afford to eat one of your opponent's interactions and then respond in kind. Now, you can choose to, if you want to, play more meta engines. There are versions that involve Fiendsmiths. There are versions that can also involve the K9s, as you have like 1 to 2 flex spots in the extra deck. Honestly, I don't think you need them. I think DDDs pure can still do very, very well, but that is entirely up to you as a builder and kind of what you're looking to do. Moving on to the extra decks, we'll start off with the Link monsters and starting off with the brand new Triple D Sky King Zeus Ragnarok. This is the card that DDDs have been screaming out for a while. It requires 2 or more DD monsters, and you get to target a DD or Dark Contract you control. Destroy it, and then during your main phase this turn, you get to conduct an additional Pendulum Summon of DD monsters specifically, but you can only gain that effect once per turn. On top of that as well is when your opponent activates a monster effect in their hand, quick effect, you get to banish a DD and a Dark Contract from the grave to negate the activation. So that's the way that you'll see in the combo how you kind of put your opponent in a position of either Nibiru me now, or I'm going to get into a way to stop you, and if you do Nibiru me, I'm still in a position to play through. So it kind of gives you those reminders of like Fiendsmith style decks where they're able to go like full Fiendsmith combo and then threaten to go into the Wave King, and it's like, right, Nibiru me now, or I'm going to be protected anyway. For the other Link monsters, we're going to be playing 2 of the Triple D King Gilgamesh. Like, this card's just insane and custom for the DD strategy in general. So it requires 2 DD monsters, and if it is special, you get to activate the effect. You can't special summon monsters for the rest of the turn except DDs, but you get to place 2 DD Pendulum monsters with different names from the deck into the Pendulum zones, and if you do, you take 1,000 damage. If this Link summon card is destroyed by battle with an opponent's attacking monster while it is in your possession or via an opponent's card effect, you get to special summon a DD monster from the extra deck or grave in defense position. Then for the, let's do the Synchros. So for the Synchros, we're playing 1 classic Triple D Curse King Siegfried. During your player's turn, target a face-up spell or trap on the field and negates effects until the end of the turn. And then on top of that as well, until the next standby phase to be very specific. And then if it is destroyed by battle or card effect, you get to gain 1,000 life points for each Dark Contract you control. Then we've got 1 of the brand new Triple D First King Clovis. So if it is Synchro summoned, you get to target 1 of your banished DDs or a Dark Contract in the grave, and then target one in your graveyard instead if you have a Dark Contract on the field, and then special summon it. You can only use each effect once per turn. If it is banished, you get to activate the effect that if your DD monster attacks a defense visual monster, you inflict piercing battle damage. On to the fusions, and then we'll finish off with the XZs because they are like the biggest representation of the extra deck. So we've got 1 of the classic Triple D Flame King Genghis. One of the flex options is your Triple D Flame High King Genghis, so you could play something like your Kali Yuga as well if you want to, but honestly I don't think you really need to. The benefit of this card is if another DD is special to the field while you control this face-up card, except during damage step, you target a double D monster in your grave and special summon it. And if it's destroyed by battle or card effect in its possession, in your possession, you get to target a dark contract in the grave and add it back to the hand. The Triple D Flame High King Genghis is if a DD monster is normal or specialed to your field while you control this monster, you get to target a DD in the grave and special summon it. And then once per turn, when a spell, trap card, or effect is activated during your turn, quick effect negate the activation. Then we have one of the brand new quadruple D Dimensional King Arc Crisis. This card is an absolute powerhouse. So this pendulum effect lets you target any number of dark contract cards you control, destroy them, and then special summon up to that many Doom King pendulum monsters from your deck and or extra deck. It owns each effect once per turn. Its monster effect requires 4 Fiend monsters, 1 Fusion, Synchro, Xyz, and a Pendulum. And it must either be Fusion summoned or specialed from the face down extra deck by banishing the above cards from the field and or graveyard. So what DDDs used to have in the past is your opponent would go like Dark Ruler then Evenly, or like Dark Ruler then Dark Hole and completely clear your field, and you're like, right, you're not coming back from that. Whereas now, as long as they hit the graveyard, you just go, cool, draw, standby, main, summon big guy out. And on top of that, big guy gives you the ability that it lets you negate the effects of all face-up monsters your opponent currently controls, and it gets to attack all the opponent's monsters once each. So that's when you get other DDD cards that are going to come into play, like the Clovis, that's going to give you this piercing battle damage. Then for the Xyz, we do play one of the brand new Triple D Wave King Solomon. So you get to detach a material from this card to then add a DD card from the deck to the hand. And if it is banished, you get to target a DD effect monster you control. That effect monster gains the effect until the end of the turn. If it destroys an opponent's monster by battle, inflict damage to your opponent equal to that attack. So you can kind of see how this and Clovis lean into this guy, because this is then going to give it burn damage and then piercing damage, which is insane. Then we've got one of the original Triple D Wave King Caesar. So you're basically going to be making this for its scent effect, that if it's sent from the field to the grave, you get to add a dark contract from the deck to the hand. So that's how you're going to get access to the Witch. You're going to rank up your Solomon into your Marksman King Tell, and you're using this for if it's sent from the field to the grave, you get to send a DD or a dark contract from the deck to the grave, and that's a soft per turn, so you get to use it as many times as you can do it, which you're going to loop it twice in the combo that you'll see shortly. Then we've got the everybody should know by the Triple D Wave High King Caesar, because of like all of the Fiendsmith variants, basically in here to stop the negation or negate when a spell, trap, or monster effect is activated. They include the effects to special summon a monster. On top of that as well, remember that it does have an additional effect that lets you have the ability that you can make one other DD monster you control gain 1800 attack to the end of the turn. And if it's sent from the field to the grave, you add a dark contract from the deck to the hand, so more searchability. The final DD cards we are playing is 2 Triple D Divisor King Deuce Machina X. So this has the ability to be ranked on top of any Triple D monster you control as material. And then what happens is, once per chain, when a monster your opponent controls activates his effect, you get a quick effect to detach 2 materials from this card or destroy a dark contract you control. And if you do, you attach that opponent's card to this card as material. And then during the standby phase, you get to place it into the pendulum zone should you want to. Now, you'll see at the end of the combo, what happens is we set this up in a position so it can absorb 4 times. Not that you'd ever really need to absorb 4 times, but if it happens and it does get to resolve that, your opponent's probably not going to win the game. And the last card that I'm playing is the one SP Little Knight, just as a generic option that I'm like, right, okay, well, before I DDD lock myself, if I go into SP, I get to threaten a card on the field and then also chain it and get rid of it off the field, that it could be coming back as a disruption later on. But more times than not, it's just a very nice interaction. You can play a Sky Crisis Typhon if you want to, in case you fiend lock yourself. You can pretty much also go, like I mentioned previously, go for a Kali Yugioh. You can go for the big Synchro DDD that people sometimes play as well. You've got a bit of flexibility depending on what you want to try and achieve. So that's it for the entire profile. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through that all-important Kepler combo. If you don't have any questions about the side deck as well, usually the side deck is going to be down to environmental changes and just generally what cards you have access to. I've already mentioned alternatives for like the chummies will be stuff like your Phantasmes, you've got Drawn Lockbirds to consider, you've got other hand traps that can be very useful for you. And then for the other side deck cards, you can also consider Floodgates. Like you could consider like an Eradicator if you wanted to. You've got Trill Tactics Trill Tactics Thrust. Then you've got Dimension Barrier and like loads of cards that could be set off of that as well that could be useful for your environment. So something you need to keep in mind, and then whatever works best for you in that environment is what you're going to want to take. Anyway, I'm going to be back in a second to put this deck and the combo together so you have everything in one nice video to give you the basics that you're going to need for DDD piloting. The powerful 1-card combo all comes from DD Savant Kepler, but it can also come from the next stages of the combo being the Dark Contract with the Gate or Triple D Zoom Doom Queen Mechanics. Like, it's just so crazy consistent. As I said at the start of the video, I'm going to put a link to the description down below for Different Dimensions Dreamer. He just has so many cool, intricate pieces. He talks about different stages of when Nibiru can kind of enter the field, what happens with Ash Blossom, what happens with Droll. It's so informative, so I highly advise you all go and check that out. Regardless, what we're going to do here is you're going to start off by normal summoning down the Kepler. This will get you access to the Dark Contract with a Gate, and you're going to activate Dark Contract with a Gate to grab you your Triple D Zoom Doom Queen Mechanics. You're going to scale up the Mechanics. This is then going to get you access to your Dark Contract with the Zero King. You're going to use the Zero King to destroy your Doom Queen Mechanics, and this is going to get you access to your Copernicus. Copernicus will then send Lance Soldier from deck to the grave, and then you're going to be able to use Lance Soldier's effect to get rid of your Dark Contract to bring itself back. And then you can use the effect to increase its level by 2 because you've got 1 Dark Contract on the field and 1 on the grave. And then you're going to be able to overlay both of these, as this is now level 4, to go into your Triple D Wise King Solomon. You can then use your Wise King Solomon's effect to grab you your DD Griffins. You've got that extender for later on as we bring this out a little bit more. And then we're going to be able to overlay this into your DDD Marks King Tell. Now, at this exact moment in time, you're currently going to be on your 5th summon. If they Nibiru you here, it's not the end of the world because you still get the effect over the back of your Marksman King Tell, which would lead you into your Swell Slime, and then Swell Slime pushes and plays from there, because then Swell Slime plus your Fusion Monster, you get your Griffin and everything else in between, and then you're going to be able to kind of move your plays even further forward. So you're still in an absolutely fine position. So you're going to be able to link these both off, making sure your Kepler goes to the extra deck face up, and you're going to go into your Triple D Abyss King Gilgamesh. Now what you're going to be able to do is you're going to be able to go Chainlink 1 Gilgamesh, Chainlink 2 Kingdom and Tell, and Chainlink 2 Gilgamesh. So what you'll do here is you'll be able to place your Scales of Oblivion King Ragnarok and your Orpheus, and then you're going to be able to send your Necro Slime from deck to grave. Now at this point here, you can special summon down your Griffin because obviously you meet its special summon requirements, and you're going to be able to link both of these together, and this is now going to get you into your Nib Protector in the form of your Triple D Sky King Zeus Ragnarok. Now what you're going to need to be able to do is you're going to be able to use your Double D Necro Slime. You're going to want to banish itself, and specifically Marksman King Tell, as it is old card text. You'll actually be able to use this effect twice this turn as well. I'm just going to bring these down here to open up a bit more space on the field. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be summoning out our DDD Flame King Genghis. So you're just going to be able to get like so much more advantage off the back of this. It's pretty crazy. Like I said, if Nibiru happens a little bit earlier, you'll see that in exact detail on the Different Dimensions channel, but you can kind of just see how it will allow you to push that bit further forward, so you're still in a very, very good position. Griffin, remember as well, also goes to the extra deck. Always remember, Pendulum Monsters, unless they go as materials, will always go to the extra deck, and the reason that's so important is that we're now going to be able to produce a Pendulum Summon of specifically a level 4, and Griffin is the only one that will be able to do that, so we're going to be able to summon that here. We'll be able to trigger off the Triple D High Flame King's effect to bring back your Lance, which will now be still a level 2, and you're going to synchro these two together to get you into your brand new Triple D First King Clovis. So this one, if it is synchroed, you get to target one of your banished Double Ds or a Dark Contract on the field. And if you have a Dark Contract on the field, you can also target one in the grave instead and special summon it. So this will allow you to get your Triple D Marksman King Tell back into rotation. And the reason that's quite important is as we want to get rid of it, we'll be able to kind of set ourselves up with even more plays. It's absolutely crazy. So we're going to overlay our Triple D Flame King Genghis and our First King Clovis to get us into our Triple D Wave King Caesar. Now what you're going to want to do here is you're going to want to use your Zeus Ragnarok's effect to destroy your own Marksman King Tell. In doing so, this is going to give you the option for an additional Pendulum Summon later on in this turn. But what it's also going to do, because one of your cards is destroyed, you'll actually be able to trigger your Triple D Zero Doom King Machinex to summon itself back out of the extra deck. So as long as you've got a zone free, you're going to be good to rock and roll. Then what you'll also be doing is you'll be triggering off your Marksman King Tell to send your DD Defense Soldier, because this one's going to have a very, very good effect that lets you activate one of the following effects. Target a DD card in your Pendulum Zone and special summon it, or banish a DD monster from the graveyard, and if your Triple D monster attacks this turn, your opponent cannot activate card effects until the end of the damage step. You can also banish this card from the grave to add a DD Pendulum monster from your face-up extra deck or grave back to your hand. Now the reason you're going to want to be sending this is because we have the ability of our Triple D Oblivion King Ragnarok once this is all resolved, and your Triple D Zero Doom Queen Machinexus hit the field. If you special summon a Double D, including a Triple D monster, during damage state, target a DD in the grave, and then you get to summon it back, and then any battle damage you do to your opponent is currently halved. So doing so, we can now use our Double D Defense Soldier's effect to target our Orpheus and summon out the Orpheus. And the reason we're going to want to do that is we now have a level 4 tuner in the form of the Orpheus and a level 4 non-tuner. So we're going to be able to synchro both of these together, and we're going to get ourselves into a very nice Siegfried. So now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using the grave effect of our DD Defense Soldier. So we're going to be able to banish it to then add a Pendulum monster from our face or extra deck or our graveyard back to our hand. Now the one you're going to want to add back is you're going to want to add back the Copernicus that was used as overlay material previously, which is why it ended up in the graveyard. You then get to add this back and then activate it, and in doing so you now open up the door to Pendulum Summon level 2 to level 4. So in doing so, we have 2 level 4s in our extra deck, being the Griffin and the Orpheus, that we can Pendulum Summon out. So let's just remember that our Siegfried should be going over here. So we leave up 2 zones to Pendulum Summon both of these out. And in doing so, we're then going to be able to overlay both of these into our Triple D High Wave King Caesar. And the reason you're going to want to do that is you're going to want to link this off alongside your Triple D Zoom Queen to go back to the extra deck to get us into our second Gilgamesh. And in doing so, we can trigger the Triple D Wave King Caesar to grab us the Dark Contract with the Witch. We're going to set this one, and then of course we're going to rank up our Gilgamesh into our DDD Divisor King Deus Machina. So by setting the Witch, what you now have is you've got the ability to negate any time of summon from a spell or monster effect off of the back of your Triple D Wave King Caesar. You've got the ability to target a spell or trap to negate, so if your opponent does decide to activate Dark Rule no more, you go, cool, chain Dark Contract with the Witch, and then activate your Siegfried to then target, because you're not responding to Dark Rule no more with a monster effect, you're actually responding with a trap effect here, and then a monster effect to target negate. You've got the monster's hand effect negate here, you've got the absorb off of the back of the Divisor King Machinex by destroying your Dark Contract with a 0, that will then attach 1 card to your opponent. You've then got the ability to do it again, destroying your Dark Contract with the Witch and attaching off of the back of that. And then you'll be able to detach 2 materials and attach 1 monster again. And then you'll be able to detach the final 2 materials and attach the final monster. So your Deus King Machinex has absorbed 4 monsters. This has all come from 1 card, so we should still technically have 4 cards left in our hand as well. We've got your spell and trap negate. You've then got the ability to negate twice here. So you've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 off of the back of this just away. Then unfortunately you have Witch, which was going to be 9 as well. So it's just absolutely crazy. And if any of this does get destroyed, your 10th interaction is going to be your Triple D Zoom, I keep saying Zoom, Zero Doom Queen Machinex, which can summon from the extra deck and destroy a card on the field. So you just have so much resource. It's absolutely mental what this deck can now do. I absolutely love it. Like, this is such a great addition to the deck. Absolutely amazing, because not only can it be an aggressor, not only can it be an extender, it can also be a starter. Like, you just saw it get used in pretty much 2 of the scenarios all in this video, like in this particular combo. And then on top of that, like I've mentioned, as a disruptor during your opponent's turn, you also get the ability to do it there as well. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you do have any questions at all, by all means, please put in the comments down below. I will be more than happy to answer them. Like I said, massive shout out to Joe on this one, as he was the originator of DDDs for the channel back in the day. And a massive shout out to the Different Dimension Dreamer. I highly advise you go and check out all of their videos. They are so informative on DDDs. I am personally going to be watching their videos as well, because I think they just give you as much information as possible and give you so many different scenarios that for a deck like this that can be quite complex, if you don't learn the combos inside and out, it's going to be very, very invaluable. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. If you want to see either a dedicated combo video, probably going to leave that to Different Dimension Dreamer. But if you want to see a test stand video as well for the deck, then make sure you get the video above 50 likes in the first 24 hours, and I will be more than happy to bring that for you. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Till next time, as absolutely always, stay safe, and of course, happy dueling.